Teach Like a Champion by Doug Lemov is a powerful book on teaching. A really valuable read for anyone who's a teacher or anyone who's trying to understand what effective teachers do, including students and parents. There are many techniques to effective teaching, and we want to look at effectiveness over cleverness. Sometimes there's an emphasis on the newest technology or the most creative ideas, but if they're not effective, what's the point? Time management is always important in the classroom. You only have so many minutes per day, so many minutes per year, and you want to maximize all of them. That means effective procedures. That means students knowing what's going on. We don't want students to give up or opt out of the class. That means when they're called upon, they don't say, I don't know is not an acceptable answer. It's an answer that has to be worked on. So often in our classrooms, students just say, oh, I don't know, whenever they're asked, and then the teacher just moves on. We need to scaffold. We need to reteach. We need to make sure students know that they have to find their way to the correct answer. Effective teachers teach to standards. They know what's expected of them. They have the end in mind when they plan. They don't just teach random lessons. They teach lessons that are focused on the standards that are presented before them. Effective teachers have high expectations. They expect all their students to learn. They expect all their students to improve greatly throughout the year. They don't accept failure. They don't accept opting out. They don't accept answers that are incorrect. Answers that are incorrect must be corrected. They must be fixed. Teachers with high expectations do not say an answer is correct when it's only partially correct. They want right is right. They want the answer to be perfectly correct. They sweat the details. And when the answer is right, they help students stretch their answer to bring it to the next level. They help the students get to the higher levels of thinking with their answers. In effective teachers' classroom, sentence form is very important. Students are practicing literacy every single day. They speak in sentence form, they answer questions in sentence form, they write in sentence form, and they're always practicing literacy. Effective teachers never apologize for their content. They never say, oh, this is going to be boring, but you have to grunt your way through it. They always have passion for their content, and they sell that passion to their students. Effective teachers are always planning with the end in mind. They are looking at what is the final product, what do the students need to know, what do they need to do at the end of it. Their plans are manageable, they're able to be accomplished, they're measurable, we're able to measure the accomplishment. The plans are public and posted so the students know what's going on each day. And effective teachers are always looking for the shortest path towards success. If there's two techniques and one is long and clunky and slow, but the other technique is fast and efficient for learning, we're going to pick the one that's more efficient and faster and more effective. Effective teachers are always double planning. They think about what the students are doing in addition to what the teacher is doing. Teachers that are not quite as effective often will just think about what they're doing each class period, but we need to think about what the students are doing. Is it going to keep them engaged? Is it going to keep them learning? Is there going to be a variety of tasks involved? Delivery is so important for teaching. Delivering from the teacher to the student is always part of the classroom, even in classes, in the modern classes where students are doing more and more on their own. The teacher's still got to deliver instruction to the students. Repetition is important. Think about it as like a sport. You wouldn't practice a skill one day, dribbling one day in basketball practice, and then never practice it again. You need to practice these skills over and over again. So reviewing and repetition is a key part of teaching and learning. Great teachers know how to break it down to one step at a time. It can be overwhelming to learn a concept all at once. Break it down to simple steps and walk the students through each step until they get it. Great teachers move throughout the classroom. They circulate. They break the plane. So many teachers just stay at the front of the classroom. Great teachers know that the entire classroom is their domain. They're in the back, they're in the middle, they're in the side, and they break the plane of the classroom, the plane being the line between the teacher's desk and the student's desk, early and often throughout the class period. They set up classrooms where they can access the entire room easily. That's key for classroom management, it's key for engagement, and it becomes a natural part of the learning process. Great teachers are always checking for understanding. They're always providing feedback, both written and verbal. Personally, I think verbal feedback is a great way to get specific, efficient feedback to students and then have them fix things and improve things right then and there. Great teachers know that not all students are going to get it the first time. They need to be retaught, and they need lots and lots of practice. Great teachers focus on engagement. Cold calling used to be a bad term, but cold calling done effectively can engage all students. It should be random, it should be systematic, and that way students know they could be called on any time. It keeps them engaged in the classroom discussion. It keeps them engaged in what's going on. And if they happen to get the question wrong, we'll work with them to get to the right answer, but we will not accept answers that are partially right or answers that are incorrect. Another tool is call and response. The teacher ask a question and the students answer in unison all together. It's a great way for all students to be involved at once. It is, if you're going to do that, you have to expect and demand 100% participation. Right to learn. Have students write the answers down. Have students write in sentence form. Have students write all kinds of things in the classroom. Not with the purpose of being graded on their writing, but the purpose of writing to learn, to make sure their answers are recorded, make sure they're engaged and they're answering all the questions. And then you have an actual product that you can see. The culture and effective student-teacher's classroom relies on 5 things: discipline, management, control, influence, engagement. Teachers teach proper behavior. They teach students to be sitting upright and engaged. They teach students to use signals to tell what they need. They teach the different procedures. Management, is all about routines. It's about good planning. It's about good lesson planning. It's about teaching the procedures and transitions, teaching the proper behavior. Your control, you're building the relationships, and in influence, you're inspiring, connecting to your students. And if you have these other things, engagement's going to come naturally. 100%. It's so important that 100% of the students are engaged. 100% of the students are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Not marginally, but completely. If everyone's not doing, the teacher should persistently focus on 100% participation, 100% engagement. And if they don't do it right, let's do it again until we get it right. Don't offer warnings. Go straight to whatever the straight consequence is, and a natural consequence, and give it in a friendly but firm manner. Voice is important for teachers. Their voice should be strong. It should be firm. Good teachers do not talk over their students. They have procedures in place where they get their students' full attention. I use a bell in my classroom personally. Their voice is clear. They carry themselves with good posture. They are not sloppy. They're organized. These are the way an effective teacher speaks and presents themselves in the classroom. Positive reinforcement is great for effective teaching. Praise should not be general, though. It should be precise. It should not just be, oh, good job. You should say, good job with doing so-and-so. I like what you did here. It should be precise and honest. We don't praise right answers. Right answers are expected. You give specific positive feedback on good work. Look to increase, you can be very strict but still be warm with your student. You're warm, friendly, but you're strict. That's the way you want to be. You don't have to be cold and strict. Be warm and friendly with your students, but still strict, following rules and procedures. The joy factor, adding joy to the classroom. Games, acting, creativity, change of scenery, these are all things that can be added. Normalize error. One of the greatest things you can teach your students is to understand that failure and mistakes happen. It's about analyzing the mistakes, correcting them, and moving forward. That's so important. Learning from mistakes. Error is normal. Making mistakes is normal. As long as you're trying and improving and learning from your mistakes, then it's acceptable. Every minute matters. Do not waste time in the classroom. Make sure you have proper pacing. Make sure that you're teaching from bell to bell, not wasting minutes. Have procedures in place so your students know what to do and time's not being wasted. Literacy should be taught in every class all the time. And there's you should be reading every period of the day for a period of time. Every class should be a reading class. Every class should be a writing class. These are the skills our students need to learn. And look for 100% engagement in reading. Have the students read together, switch readers quickly, systematically, support struggling readers, realize that reading practice is part of class, normalize error with reading, and it's easy and very effective for a class to read together. and to make sure everyone is reading. In summary, this is a very powerful book by Doug Lemov. It can really help people become more effective teachers. It can help people become more effective learners as well. And it really offers an insight of how to run a powerful and effective classroom. So I hope this was helpful. And check out Doug Lemov's book for a lot more detail on this than I have. And of course, these are just my opinions on what's going on. You can formulate your own as you read the book.